I spent a few days in Gujarat, days that will never leave me. Stepping onto the silvery sands of Kutch, it seemed ironic that we strive so hard to fly to the moon, when the moon itself lands on the earth here. Coming face to face with the Asiatic lions of Gir, I could feel their piercing stares asking me, what is this funny little creature doing in my forest? In the temples of Somnath, arms folded, head bent in devotion, such a sense of tranquility. Forget worries, forget pain, forget dialogues even. Just the Creator and I, the creation. Walking in the footsteps of our forefathers in Dhulavira, I was humbled yet filled with pride. Dwarka gave me Krishna and Moksha. Sabarmati bestowed me with the Mahatma and his teachings. Gujarat has so much to offer. Come, breathe in a bit of Gujarat.
नवरात्रि, इसमें खुशबू है मौज की, मस्ती की, इसमें खुशबू है गुजरात की। अरे कब तक नाचोगे बारात में? कुछ दिन तो नाचो गुजरात में।
Welcome to the Run Festival. A time for this stark land to don the colorful robes of festivity. Who would have thought this barren land could give birth to such joy? Breathe in this air of celebration and excitement. Breathe in a bit of Gujarat. Dwarka is the gateway to Moksha, the liberation of the soul. Come to the city of Krishna. Imbibe the meaning of love and devotion. Breathe in a bit of Gujarat.
India, the land of alluring destinations. Many are home to global tourists and many yet to be explored. Recognizing tourism as a unifying force, Honorable Prime Minister of India Shri Narendra Modi has invited tourists from all over the world to visit India and experience the warmth and hospitality of Indian culture and cuisine, people and places. Undoubtedly, Gujarat has become a home away from home for the tourist. Minister's initiative forward by encouraging existing tourist opportunities and developing tourist attractions like beach, historic temples, hiking sites and forest safaris. And in the last few years, Gujarat has witnessed a huge number of tourist footfalls. In collaboration with BSF, Gujarat Tourism has come up with a very unique concept of tourist attraction. A place to witness bravery, a place to feel nation strength and pride, a place to feel more Indian. Gujarat Tourism welcomes you to Nada Bait to stand side by side with soldiers who are on duty round the clock to protect our motherland. Gujarat shares a long border with Pakistan, which has remained beyond reach for the people all these years, with an intention to inculcate the feeling of belongingness in Indian youth. Nada Bait Seema Darshan was inaugurated by Honorable Chief Minister of Gujarat, Shri Vijay Rupani, on December 24, 2016. At Nada Bait, the experience transcends sightseeing. It is about experiencing the passion of being an Indian. On the edge of the Indo-Pak border, Nada Bait Seema Darshan, located in Banaskantha district, just 245 kilometers from Ahmedabad. BSF at Nada Bait organizes parade and arms exhibition bi-weekly, which is a unique and rare opportunity for tourists to know about the armed forces and paramilitary culture. Nearby tourist attractions are Jaisor Bear Sanctuary, Patola House at Patan, Rani Ki Vav at Patan, Balaram Palace, Balaram Mahadev Temple, one of the most popular Shakti Peeths of India, the Ambaji Temple, Nadeshwari Mata's temple. Uniqueness of Nada Bait Seema Darshan has taken the tourism experience to the next level. And this is one more feather in the cap of Gujarat tourism.
I spent a few days in Gujarat, days that will never leave me. Stepping onto the silvery sands of Kutch, it seemed ironic that we strive so hard to fly to the moon, when the moon itself lands on the earth here. Coming face to face with the Asiatic lions of deer, I could feel their piercing stares asking me, what is this funny little creature doing in my forest? In the temples of Somnath, arms folded, head bent in devotion, such a sense of tranquility. Forget worries, forget pain, forget dialogues even. Just the Creator and I, the creation. Walking in the footsteps of our forefathers in Dhulavira, I was humbled yet filled with pride. Dwarka gave me Krishna and Moksha. Sabarmati bestowed me with the Mahatma and his teachings. Gujarat has so much to offer. Come, breathe in a bit of Gujarat.
नवरात्रि, इसमें खुशबू है मौज की, मस्ती की, इसमें खुशबू है गुजरात की। अरे कब तक नाचोगे बारात में? कुछ दिन तो नाचो गुजरात में।
Welcome to the Run Festival. A time for this stark land to don the colorful robes of festivity. Who would have thought this barren land could give birth to such joy? Breathe in this air of celebration and excitement. Breathe in a bit of Gujarat. Dwarka is the gateway to moksha, the liberation of the soul. Come to the city of Krishna. Imbibe the meaning of love and devotion. Breathe in a bit of Gujarat.
India, the land of alluring destinations. Many are home to global tourists and many yet to be explored. Recognizing tourism as a unifying force, Honorable Prime Minister of India Shri Narendra Modi has invited tourists from all over the world to visit India and experience the warmth and hospitality of Indian culture and cuisine, people and places. Undoubtedly, Gujarat has become a home away from home for the tourists. Minister's initiative forward by encouraging existing tourist opportunities and developing tourist attractions like beach, historic temples, hiking sites and forest safaris. And in the last few years, Gujarat has witnessed a huge number of tourist footfalls. In collaboration with BSF, Gujarat Tourism has come up with a very unique concept of tourist attraction. A place to witness bravery, a place to feel nation strength and pride, a place to feel more Indian. Gujarat Tourism welcomes you to Nada Bait to stand side by side with soldiers who are on duty round the clock to protect our motherland. Gujarat shares a long border with Pakistan, which has remained beyond reach for the people all these years, with an intention to inculcate the feeling of belongingness in Indian youth. Nada Bait Seema Darshan was inaugurated by Honorable Chief Minister of Gujarat, Shri Vijay Rupani, on December 24, 2016. At Nada Bait, the experience transcends sightseeing. It is about experiencing the passion of being an Indian. On the edge of the Indo-Pak border, Nada Bait Seema Darshan, located in Banaskantha district, Just 245 kilometers from Ahmedabad, BSF at Nada Bay organizes parade and arms exhibition bi-weekly, which is a unique and rare opportunity for tourists to know about the armed forces and paramilitary culture. Nearby tourist attractions are Jaisor Bear Sanctuary, Patola House at Patan, Rani Ki Vav at Patan, Balaram Palace, Balaram Mahadev Temple, one of the most popular Shakti Peeths of India, the Ambaji Temple, Nadeshwari Mata's Temple. Uniqueness of Nada Bay Seema Darshan has taken the tourism experience to the next level, and this is one more feather in the cap of Gujarat tourism.
I spent a few days in Gujarat, days that will never leave me. Stepping onto the silvery sands of Kutch, it seemed ironic that we strive so hard to fly to the moon, when the moon itself lands on the earth here. Coming face to face with the Asiatic lions of Gir, I could feel their piercing stares asking me, what is this funny little creature doing in my forest? In the temples of Somnath, arms folded, head bent in devotion, such a sense of tranquility.
A very good afternoon to everyone gathered here. We'll be starting shortly. We're just waiting for one more panel member to join us, and Farooq sir is already joining us. I think we're all on time and we're prompt. We are just going to be starting in just a minute. Just give us 1 minute. I'm just waiting for Dr. Sneha also to log in. I think she got logged out. Just give me 1 moment. We're just trying to get ma'am logged back in.
Very good afternoon. On behalf of the Tourism Association, Department of Travel and Tourism, Mount Carmel College and Tourism Corporation of Gujarat, it is my pleasure to welcome you all to the national level panel discussion today, which is definitely a great occasion for us to meet each other. It is my pleasure to welcome you all immensely, especially Ms. Gopi Vishrolia, Head of Operations, Tourism Corporation of Gujarat, Karnataka. My sincere welcome to Shri Mohammad Farooq, Regional Director South, Ministry of Tourism, Government of India. I also welcome Mr. Ajit Kumar Sharma, Head of Operations, Tourism Corporation of Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, and for Kerala. Hearty welcome to Ms. Joyatri Ray, Director of Equitable Tourism Options, Equations. Special welcome to Ms. Sandy and Mr. Vijay, bloggers, professional travel writers and content creators. A warm welcome to Ms. Bhavani Arun, General Manager, Travel Air Representations. I extend my warm welcome to the members of the management, Dr. Sister Arpana, Principal, Dr. Charmaine Jerome, Vice Principal, Sister Sajita and Dr. Lekha, Campus Coordinators, and Dr. Suma Singh, Dean of Humanities. I also welcome all the 500 participants across the country who have logged in today, academicians, industry professionals, students, and my fellow colleagues and Carmelites. This panel discussion organized is with the focus state of Gujarat. The theme of this discussion is Gujarat tourism, a spectrum of opportunities, which looks into exploring the vibrancy of Gujarat tourism and to create awareness on the multiple opportunities it has in store for all the stakeholders. Let us look forward to a fruitful discussion to gain a better perspective of the prospects of Gujarat tourism from various stakeholders of the tourism industry. Come, let us all breathe in a bit of Gujarat. I would now like to invite my colleague, Ms. Neha, Coordinator, Tourism Association, to take over the proceedings.
Thank you, Dr. Sneha. At the get-go, I would like to thank all panel members for coming and joining us on this auspicious occasion of our National Tourism Day. We're celebrating it a little bit later, but we're still enthusiastic in the celebration. We want to start off with a couple of releases. We are actually very proud to release our new logo. We have the logo on display. This is the logo our tourism secretaries and the core team members have designed. This is going to be our logo from now on. So releasing this logo. We also on an annual basis release our newsletter. Our newsletter is known as Fernway. Every year we publish this with a summary of all our academic activities. We have this newsletter, as Sneha said, we publish this every year, and we will be sharing the PDF of this document while this event is going on or towards the end of this event for sure. I would like to take this opportunity to introduce each of our panel members. I would like to start off with Ms. Gopi Vishrolia. She is the IC Manager, Tourism Corporation, Karnataka for Gujarat. Ms. Gopi Vishrolia initially started her career in the headquarters of Tourism Corporation Gujarat Limited in Gandhinagar, Gujarat. She has got promoted as the Karnataka operations in Bangalore. She's been holding this esteemed position for the past 8.5 years, which is an absolute amazing post to be holding. She's been doing a great job. She's also successfully been representing Gujarat tourism on various platforms, ranging from national as well as international expositions, ranging from road shows, expos, and she's also a brilliant influencer. In fact, Ms. Gopi Vishrolia has got several awards with regards to influencers. She's known to be among the top 13 influencer with potential for women in Karnataka. We're very, very privileged to have you. We also, just to enumerate some of her other amazing achievements, she is the council member of Eastern Region WICCI. She also is recognized as a micro-influencer for tourism industry. In addition to this, she has represented Gujarat tourism on national as well as international levels, hosted more than 20 travel events, meets, and has also achieved a lot of social work recognition with working in the rural region with empowering women and children. So it's an absolute honor, ma'am, to have you with us. We extend a very warm welcome. It is also my esteemed privilege to invite Mr. Ajit Kumar Sharma. Sir is the Gujarat Tourism Operation Head for all the following states, that is Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, and Kerala. Sneha, I request to change the slide, please. Thank you. Sir has been in the tourism industry for the past 9 years, and he has had various contributions to the tourism industry. He has been holding this post of IC Manager, Tourism Corporation of Gujarat And in that post, he has received various awards ranging from excellence in TTF and IITTM for his efforts in the tourism industry. So we extend a hearty welcome to you and happy to have you on board. We move on to our next panel member, and we have been collaborating with Shri Mohammad Farooq sir for many years. And sir, it is a happy occasion that you are joining us here today. Sir is the Regional Director, South, Ministry of Tourism, Government of India. Sir has been in this office as Director since December 2017. Sir hails from the Union Territory of Puducherry, and his career profile starts from almost 21 years. His experience ranges from 4 years in the private sector, 12 years in the Department of Tourism, Government of Puducherry, and 5 years in the Ministry of Tourism, Government of India. In the Ministry of Tourism, in the headquarters of Delhi, Sir has handled many subjects ranging from international tourism cooperation, niche tourism, Northeast development, information technology, right to information. During his stint in Delhi, Sir has organized various promotion events, starting from managing all the international delegates, the heads of countries, and various other inter-country coordination. The tourism cooperation, he has been heading this post for so many years, and we're really happy, sir, to have you on board. In this particular post, sir is actually managing and responsible for tourism promotion in the southern states of India and managing all the stakeholders in the southern part of the country. Sir, it is always an honor to have you. Thank you so much. I now welcome Ms. Sejana Jose, Assistant Professor, Department of Travel and Tourism, to introduce our remaining panel members. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Neha. Now, I would like to introduce the next panelist of the day, Mr. Vijay and Ms. Sandy, the couple blogger. Mr. Vijay had 15 years of successful career in the MNCs, and Ms. Sandy has 10 years of successful career in the MNCs. Post which, both of them bid adieu to the corporate sector to embark on the adventure fueled by passion for travel and writing. Mr. Vijay and Ms. Sandy are the co-founder of the travel site Oyaja, which is a platform for travel-related content that includes travel stories and travel tips based on personal experiences. Over the years, they have been able to publish many national and international publications and in some of the leading online platforms. They've also been honored with the Best Travel Writer Award at the Digital Influencers Convention and Earthly Award in Sabah, Malaysia in 2019. Mr. Vijay and Ms. Sandy have successfully collaborated with many travel and hospitality brands and for destination marketing with major national and international tourism boards, and they've also collaborated for promoting events like HTM, Goa Travel Mart, Karnataka International Travel Expo, Pata Adventure Conference in Rishikesh 2019, and many others. Mr. Vijay and Ms. Sandy, we welcome you to the panel discussion, and it is our immense pleasure to have you as our panelist for the day. Next, we have Ms. Joyatri Ray, who is the director at Equations and a true women's rights activist. She has served in UN Women and also served as director at Corporate Social Responsibility for ING entities in India. Ms. Joyatri Ray also oversees the interventions of women, tourism, and caste programs. Also, her interests lie in child protection, child sexual exploitation, and online child sexual abuse. She is presently involved in influencing organized and unorganized tourism service providers to integrate child protection mechanisms within their business operations in India, as well as facilitating the formation of network of civil society organizations focusing on the issue of child protection in travel and tourism. Ma'am, we welcome you. It is our honor to have you as a panelist. Now, may I request Ms. Monica B.A., Assistant Professor, to introduce our moderator. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is my honor and pleasure to introduce Ms. Bhavani, the moderator of today's panel discussion. Ms. Bhavani has overall 20 years plus professional experience. She has successfully managed and developed leading global luxury holiday brands and leading travel companies such as Tyrone Travel Marketing, Make My Trip, Via.com, and currently working with FCM Travel Solution as General Manager. Ms. Bhavani specializes in the area of leisure division of travel industry, sales and business development, brand analysis, and strategic management. Ms. Bhavani has facilitated group session and learning discussion in the academic forums and international organization on topics such as sustainable and responsible tourism. She has also coached students from tourism and hospitality curriculum on career goals and also worked with waste picker community on life skills and vocational training development. Ms. Bhavani has facilitated and worked with NGOs on women and youth empowerment for the underprivileged community. We welcome you, Ms. Bhavani. Dear attendees, chat option for Q&A will be open during the panel discussion. I now request Ms. Bhavani to take over the proceedings. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Ms. Monica. Very good afternoon to all the students and the fellow panelist members. It's such an honor and I'm privileged to be the moderator for today's session, which is Gujarat Tourism, a spectrum of opportunities. I don't think so it could have got any other better with having the eminent people from the various industries related to tourism. And thank you, Ms. Gopi, for having organized this through Mount Carmel College and the tourism department of Mount Carmel College to have put up this wonderful event for our as an occasion of the National Tourism Day. So without further ado, I would just like to begin. Since Gopi, this is all about Gujarat, let's start today with you on few of the questions, maybe which would help the students who are part of this discussion. Yeah. So why are people excited to visit Gujarat? I mean, just a little bit about this vibrant land. If you can just touch upon a few points on why are people excited to visit Gujarat?
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. And it is lovely to see everyone present here. My fellow panelist, moderator, like she's a loving lady, Dr. Sneha, who initiated this. And I think we were planning from December that what we are going to do it, how we are going to do it. We were planning for offline, but it's okay because of the situation we have planned for online. But again, it's amazing to have a very good number of listeners today. And probably what we have saw it's like 70% are youth, what we were expecting, and such an excitement. It gives us a boost that tourism industry is going to revive back for sure. Okay, thank you for the question, Bhavani. When we talk that Gujarat is having a very vibrancy in every sector, our welcome words are itself our padharo. You know, these are so humble and so respectful words where a person can, you know, feel the hospitality of a particular state. And coming down to the different categories of tourists, we have endless number, we can say the countless number of experiences for a hungry traveler, and from delightful customs, cultures to delicious cuisine. मतलब गुजरात आए हैं और आप खाने के बारे में बात ना करो, वो हो नहीं सकता. And the thrilling wildlife, we also entertain all the wildlife photographers. We have amazing bird watching sites over there with a very rich civilization that traces its roots to 4,000 years back. So not only the history is very vibrant or very happening, even the present, where the department is working down on many projects for empowerment.
Okay, thank you. So I think we'll quickly try to have a little more questions and work on this. I'll ask Sandy and Vijay. Let's start with them. all are bloggers, and a lot of millions of people read about what you have written, and you guys are like mainly the bloggers are now become the content create. You have the content, the knowledge of the place, and everything that you've experienced yourself. So that is what is the difference, because you go and see the places and then put up your blog. So with that, there's a responsibility that comes in, a kind of a social responsibility for you itself, that you need to give the right information about the places, the know-how of the places, what to expect. So how important and what is the kind of responsibility as a blogger do you have to set the expectations right for a traveler, and from a tourism point of view for that particular state or that particular place that you're writing in? How much of the responsibility is it to put in the right expectations and to give in the right impressions about the place, so that it's not, going to give in any kind of a negative impact about the places?
Okay, so it is, we consider it a great responsibility on us because our readers rely on what we write, and they form their impression about a destination based on our own writings. So it is quite a heavy responsibility on our shoulders. How we look at it is, we believe in, as you rightly said, first experiencing. There'll be very few posts where we haven't experienced ourselves. So it is based on our own personal experiences. Now there are a few things, especially when it comes to things like, say, heritage, architecture, for example, the Somnath temple, its history, Rani Ki Vav, its beautiful sculptures and architecture, where we have to back that experience with a lot of intensive research. Okay, and research. So we put in a lot of research before we write it on our blogs. For example, if you check out our posts on Somnath and even Rani Ki Vav, there's a lot of research that has gone in behind the scenes. And the secondary research that we do is not always available online. And even sometimes if it's available online, we don't actually rely on that. We have to check 3 or 4 different sources. For example, for Somnath, we've actually read a few books. One of the main books that we read was by a noted Gujarati author K.M. Munshi, who has written a beautiful book about Somnath. So if you want to go back in history, so that is what we refer to. And even for example, and there are many books which date as back as the early 19th century and the late 19th century, when the Rani Ki Vav was discovered. So there are booklets, and then we also refer to Archaeological Survey of India, their writing. So we put on a lot of research on that aspect, and we back it with our experience, and the final product is garnished with our own style of writing to make it attractive to readers, because we need to differentiate. Otherwise, if it's just information, you can find it anywhere. So accuracy, and it should grab the attention of the reader.
So I would like to add here that we also promote responsible tourism and sustainable tourism. So whenever we are traveling, we carry our refillable water bottles. We say no to animal tourism, and would always want to use as much as less possible the usage of plastic. We don't want to do it as much as possible. So we want to set an example, so that when we write something on our blog post, people should actually feel like they too want to do the same. So that is what it is.
So as she said, our responsibility extends beyond our blog or beyond writing. So we need, as travelers itself, we have a lot of responsibilities, and we need to set an example. So as she said, whether it be in terms of minimizing the use of plastic, or saying no to animal tourism and other things which affect the environment. So we need to lead by example.
Thank you, Vijay and Sandy. That's really nice. And you rightly touched on a point that we need to leave minimum carbon footprints behind, right? So single use of plastics, sustainability is very close subject to me. I'm sure Joytri would agree on this with the companies that I have previously been worked, or even current organizations. I definitely say no to single-use plastics in our conferences. It makes a lot of difference. Even one bottle, if somebody is saying no, and like that, another 10 people could say it's a 10 bottles of plastic that we've said no to. It makes a lot of difference. I carry a steel straw and a spoon and a small glass when I travel, so that I can use them. I don't have to rely on any of the plastic stuff that is not biodegradable. Right,
So,
very important aspect. And if
just
every traveler can follow that. Yeah.
sorry, so I just want to add here. So, along with Farooq sir, we had gone on a small trek to Tri Durga in Karnataka itself. It's around 60 kilometers from Bangalore. So he had taken us along with a few students. I think they were from Bangalore Mountaineering Club had arranged the trek. So that was done last year on the 26th of February, the Republic Day. So all the students actually picked the trash in the Hutri Durga hills, whatever were there. They collected all the trash, and you will not believe there were sacks and sacks of trash. So it was actually actually educating the small kids, which actually helped us learning more about it, and it was a great awareness program. So I think this is something which we need to do everywhere.
Yes, and no better platform than telling our youth who are all part of this webinar to educate them and sensitize them, because they are the future going ahead, and India being such a young country, we have all a certain role to play. These are all our social responsibilities as an individual, right? We need to give back to the community. We need to give back to Mother Nature. They've been really kind to us. And I think pandemic has really taught us that when we saw how things revived when there was less moments at places, dolphins coming back. We've read all of this in the last 2 years. So if we can continue to do it, I think we'll be at a better place. And Joytri, I think since this was more on a sustainability, you would want to just add something, Joytri?
Yeah, I think first let me congratulate all my fellow panelists for enlightening me on the various opportunities that lies on the Gujarat tourism front. And it was wonderful, listening to all of you and also the videos that you have shown us. I think that's a great education for all of us, those who are present in this forum today. I would just like to focus on few points that as I was hearing this coming to me, and also I was actually rereading the tourism policy of Gujarat tourism, and it it talks about 2021 2025, and it very clearly speak about that how it is in sync with the Atmanirbhar policy of the government of India, and the whole focus is looking at how do you build a local local ecosystem for this tourism. And I also hear that Mr. Sharma talking about destination development, Ms. Gopi talking about how the localites are actually coming together. I just wanted to say a few things that when we talk about sustainability, and it's very nice to hear that that the local people have been trained and local people have been brought into this entire tourism business, and so they are also being benefited from this process of development that we're talking about. One of the things that comes to my mind, because tourism is built on certain kind of resources, whether it has to be a natural resource, or it has to be a it has to be a kind of historical resource, which is your heritage and cultural and tangible, intangible heritage. It has to be a resource. It is some kind of a resource which I don't have, and I would like to explore it as a traveler. And for that resource, which is very importantly, that resource often is a livelihood option or a place of living for the people who are there. So the first rights belongs to them in terms of in terms of that place and that space. And this I think this intersectionality of the communities whose resources are being brought in as tourism products, Because as soon as we say tourism products, it becomes a marketing, and it becomes a, it becomes a business product. It becomes a kind of a commercialized. So a fine balance between commercialization and the people's rights somewhere has to come together. I do see that the policy talks about it, and I'm very hopeful from the students that that the way you are looking at promoting Gujarat tourism will actually take those components into actual operational level at actual practice level. Looking at these 4 sections of communities, tourists, tourism industry, mainly the service providers, and looking at the government, and how these 4 pillars can really come together and talk to each other to come up with an ecosystem that is people friendly, from both sides, from the host community as well as from this whole transient population who is coming to explore. How do we look at the skill training? Can we really stretch the skill training beyond only youth and women, and look at a larger ecosystem of training, which is not only to be integrated with the tourism activity, but to build a but to build a destination which is friendly, which is safe for women, safe for children, safe for people who are visiting? Can we build an ecosystem of that? Can we extend this training not only as a business activity, but also as a safe and secure ecosystem where everyone can live, so-called happily ever after, kind of a thing. Fourth thing that comes to my mind in terms of sustainability, Bhavani, is that the local supply chain and how the accountability towards the local supply chain with this various the hotel industry, or you look at any kind of service provider. But tourism, I think, has a huge supply chain, and that huge supply chain is often unorganized, often informal in nature. So what kind of accountability structures do we bring in? And more so in the time when we're talking about pandemic, where the entire backbone of tourism is also a bit shattered, and the entire informal economy is also not doing too good. So how do we bridge these gaps as we talk about sustainability in tourism? So I think these are the few of the thoughts that comes to my mind, and I really think that if we can strike a balance between these various aspects of local supply chain, accountability towards local supply chain, looking at how can we look at art, craft of the place, what is there in that locality, as I think Ms. Gopi was saying, agar aap Gujarat jao aur khane ke baat mat karo, to what is it? And I take this example very seriously because every place that I go, my struggle is to get the local food. You don't get local cuisine. You are served with this, sandwiches, and I'm saying I don't want it anymore. I don't want sandwich. I don't want, Chinese. I want something that is special over here, which I will not go back in Bangalore to have that. And I think it's very important to bring in those finer details of a culture, that those finer senses of tourism, to actually build tourism which is representing the rich culture, the heritage of our country, of our states. And in that process, there will be no other option than to bring in these local communities together, because they are the ones who will be actually representing that kind of a culture and that kind of a heritage. So I would say that, and so if we can look at an intersectionality between these 4 pillars of community, tourism service providers, and government, and there's various other people, those who actually help in this tourism ecosystem, like Miss Sandy and Vijay, who are the bloggers, bringing in influencers, students, those who actually go and just as an exposure visits. How can we bring those things together? Yeah, over to you, Bhavani.
Thank you, Joyatri, for putting in all those 4 main segments together and giving in some suggestions. I'm sure Gopi has kind of was all ears, and if she could do something on that and take it up with the tourism board. And you've already mentioned.
Yeah, definitely amazing to listen Joyatri ma'am every time she brings up something new to the industry, and Definitely, we are going to keep this in mind, work on it. But I'll also add one more thing. Gujarat Tourism Board is having the highest number of homestays. The main point to promote homestays is because a person will get the local flavor, the hospitality of that particular small city or a village wherever these homestays are present. And talking about the handicraft, art, and culture, I think Kutch is setting the best example from ages, from the day the Ranotsav have started. Nirona village, Bunny village, every village, like there are many Gandhinugam where mud artists, the workshops are going on. You can buy their stuff, you can see half their work. And even now, the most popular destination, that is Statue of Unity. Even there we have Ekta Mall, we have many other Arogya one, where we have multicultural or multi-state, where we are just trying to bring down a person to understand what exactly India is, where the unity lies. So I think the Statue of Unity is setting an example that India is truly incredible, because we have the tribals who are showcasing their handicraft or their food also. So if you go Statue of Unity, make sure that you eat at Ekta Food Mall. It's really yum food when you get there. And as I mentioned about the homestays, we are having the highest number of registered homestays. All the details are mentioned on our website as well, with the contact number and everything, so that authenticity of the particular homestay, of that we are taking a responsibility of that particular place, or the information which is provided to a customer. So when they come, they're already knowing everything about the state, so that 50% of their fear to go to a new place, it's already converted into a confidence level. So yeah, but definitely Joyatri ma'am will meet up after this, and we'll discuss how we get go together for many more projects where we can make Incredible India more incredible, for sure.
Our pleasure. Bhavani, can I just add one point to Ms. Gopi, if with your permission? Yeah, Ms. Gopi, since homestay is characterized by women workers primarily, my appeal to you is to really look at how will POSH be implemented in these various homestays, because one of the experience that we're having with mainly the hotel sector is that the the act that has come up on this women's workspace is not been implemented. And I was just wondering, because I think it's important to implement it from a perspective of more from a perspective from a preventive angle, not that something is happening, but from something which is the preventive angle, from a more proactive manner, because we don't know who is coming, we don't know what kind of people are there, and it is a act which will actually Government of India. And if my memory serves me well, I think we had a collaboration where we have gone through this. We have done this trainings of this orientation of entire South India basis of various India tourism affiliated service providers, and I think that's a good part of the work, a good part to continue in this case also, because it provides all those components that we're talking about from the last 1.5 hours. So maybe it would be something that I would request you to look into it and see whether that's something that you would like to look at.
Definitely. So that is a very good point which we should take in consideration, and definitely we are also working on. There are less kind of insecurity incidents on both the sides, I would say, not only on the homestay owner side or the tourist side, both the sides. Sure. And I'll just add on to one more thing when you talk about the developing the skills. So Gujarat Tourism is having a skill department, which I was talking before also. There are two major projects what we are running is, one is with the National Skill Development Corporation. That's the Government of India or a corporation where we jointly work for a person, not only youth, not only the women, it's for everyone who is an enthu to upgrade its skill, or who wants to get down into the tourism industry but don't know how to get down into the tourism industry. with the paid courses, definitely crash courses to the diploma courses. And we also assure after the tenure of your course is completed, we also assure that there are placements also. So when we talk about developing the skills, we are definitely working on it. And the second is Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India, where we are coordinately working with them, who are very keen to start their own small travel agency or hotel or whatever. There are again different courses which they can opt for and which will definitely help them to start their own livelihood after that. So Gujarat Tourism is definitely working on all the sectors, but right now the main focus is youth and the women, because I think COVID taught us many things, that everyone should be enough on their feet, that is Atmanirbhar, what we rightly call as. So right now we are just focusing on all these things, and even with many of the private hotels as well as the homestays, or you can talk about the guide, as Ajit also mentioned before. We have also been doing the workshops to upgrade their skills. For example, language. I think, you know, every human being, I mean, especially the Indians, I would say, they are very keen to learn the foreign languages. But they won't be knowing the Indian languages. They don't know what language is even spoken in Meghalaya. They don't know the name also. Like, forget about how to talk in that language. So these are the things which we have to bring a change. And we are just trying slowly, and eventually I think even Farooq sir is here, so I think like we all together can bring that change, and let's make this India an incredible country.
Thank you, both the ladies. That is wonderful.
Yeah, I think thank you very much, and you know this is a great opportunity to even meet you all and to have this conversation so that we can take this forward later when we and after this platform as well. And thank you very much, Ms. Gopi, for these interventions. Yeah.
Thank you, both of you. I really liked what Gopi said on the language part. Yes, we make effort to know more on the Western culture or Western thing. We don't really think about the land that we are living in. When it comes to Sanskrit, not too many of us know or want to learn also, just the basic one of the languages, which is close to, you know, but there have been countries which want to learn Sanskrit. I mean, I'm just giving one example. Moving ahead, I would like to now ask Farooq sir, since we are addressing the youth, would like to ask him, or if he can give some advice to the current students, what are the steps that they can take to develop their career? Because we do need a lot of skill sets apart from our curriculum, when we all know when we start a job. So what are the few skill sets or some advice that you can give in for the youth that they can take? Could be a key takeaway from this webinar today. So any advice that you want to give out?
Yeah. Just coming to the previous point which we are discussing, there are three channels through which many people can seek employment in the government of India, especially the Ministry of Tourism. One is there is a cadre called Tourism Information Officers, which are for which the recruitment happens through the Staff Selection Commission, SSC. So the notification comes in the employment news and other regional newspapers, through which people have to apply for it. We have vacancies. I think in a few months from now, you might have some vacancies coming up. So you might look for it, students. Number two option is, if you have a little bit of experience, then the next channel is through the through the UPSC, Union Public Service Commission, where we recruit assistant director level. So with with a little bit of experience, and this is a gazetted post. I mean, so people can come through the UPSC. So it is normally a UPSC-driven employment program where you will have to appear for the once you are shortlisted, you can appear for the interview, and if you are selected, you can join the ministry at the assistant director level. Then there are assistant DG or director level post, which is again a UPSC this thing with there the experience adds up. I mean, if you have pretty good experience, then you can enter as So, but and the last level is the regional director, or it's called deputy director general level, for which also advertisements come in the newspapers and employment exchange program. So there are four different categories through which you can seek employment. So the base level is the tourism information and officers level, which is actually the base level for which you might not require much experience. It's only normally they look for graduate with desirable tourism exposure. It may be a diploma in tourism or something else. So that is the same. I think even for the state governments they have a similar kind of setup. But I think definitely as tourism students and hospitality students, you might have edge over the other people. And so since it's all done through your staff selection commission, you have a pretty good opportunity to get employment through these channels. So that's number one. Number two, I'm not an HR expert for giving you advice on what are the skills, but see, I will tell you my example. I'm a pretty average student, and I graduated as my graduation was in chemistry. My parents were very particular that I become a scientist, but unfortunately that was not in my in my gene. So my father was apparently a French professor, and therefore just because of my parental pressure, I joined the chemistry program, and finally somehow cleared the exams and got my degree. But when the next 10 came, I mean, my father said, take the MSc. I said, no, no way I'm taking MSc. And then I looked for, what will I do? So this travel was always my passion. I kept traveling, not through my parents' money, but somehow because of since I was a sportsman, through the government money, I used to travel to places. So so when I went to to different places during my school days, I traveled to Gandhinagar, Gujarat, Kerala. I happened to travel to a few other places, and so whenever I went to all these places, there was some kind of something which told me that this is what you should look for as profession. So that's the time I came to know there is a program in Pondicherry University, and thereby I graduated as a I passed my tourism administration program, and then came to this profession. But what I would like to tell you is see, if you have the passion to travel, if you have the passion to interact with people, if you have the passion, the normal this thing attitude to help people, this is the profession that you should be in. What is required is you should be hospitable. That's there in our Indian blood. People come to India for and every other person, if you ask a foreign traveler coming to India, you'll say that I like the people. They are very hospitable. So so this is there, and we don't require much of the skills. And the skills always come once you graduate, or when you take academics. And then you also once you get into a job, there are training programs which will polish you to suit the requirement. But basically, I would request you, if you are a tourism student and if you don't have very much inclination for travel, you should start traveling. Spend as much time in the field. Academics, it's easy to pass exams. I'm a very good example of it. And so you should be there in the field. As one of my fellow panelists said, you need to find, see, there are infinite products in the country. You will have to identify what will fit a particular segment of the market. Luckily for another 50 years or 100 years, we don't have to look for products. Whereas our competitors in the European and the American market will come to a point where they'll have to sell the same products again and again. But India is one country. I'm telling you an example. When I go to Hampi, every time I meet that archaeologist, they will say, we are yet to, dig there, because, there is something, there. So there are so many things, they can keep digging and, find new products, the next years to, the next, coming days to come. So with this, I think, so there are a lot of training programs. We from the Ministry of Tourism are doing a lot of programs. We have done, programs on responsible and sustainable tourism. We have done, natural, the trekking program which Sandy was talking about. It's actually a trekking combined with, picking the, litter. So it was a fantastic program where, we had a lot of families coming and passionately, joining us for, taking the litter from this, Bhutri Durga, which is a trekking point. So, a tourism student should come forward to do a lot of volunteering activities. Volunteer tourism is one, segment where we have not really tapped into. We can have some exchange program. The institutions can come up with, some exchange programs where students from other foreign universities can come and, have exchange program with our students. And, the opportunities are unlimited. Over to Bhavani, if there is anything else, I might be happy to answer.
Thank you, sir. That is good insights given, and you were really humble to have shared your history of why into the tourism. And I second the thought of you saying if the passion. I think for any work or anything that we do, passion is the core. That's the heart, right? So if you have the passion to do something, then go for it. So if most of us, if I talk to my industry friends or colleagues, most of us are in the travel industry, it's because of the passion. Either you want to experience the places, or it is the joy of meeting people and helping people realize their dreams, because holiday is all about realizing one's dream. And I too strongly believe in that. So if you have that passion, I think this is a good way to start. There are doctors for the illness. We are the doctors for travel. So I just say that to most of the students, because we are helping people to identify what they want to do on their holiday, how they can go about. So, definitely. So that's the way forward. So may I ask now Sandy and Vijay a few questions? One of the last questions for them today would be, what are because content curating or content writers and bloggers have become another stream in the tourism as a career option. There are a lot of students opting for that as a career option. So is there something that you would want to suggest, or pointers which might help people who are aspiring to get into this in their career? And I think it's good if you all address it.
Okay, so Bhavani, as you said, again, I will repeat the same. First of all, me and Vijay love traveling, and along with travel, we started writing a few years back. So the main thing, what you mentioned, it's the same, the passion. So anybody who wants to pursue their career in travel writing or content creation, the main thing that is required is passion. And secondly, I would say it is the consistency. It's not that today I do something and then for some days I just forget about it and later on I will pick it up whenever I feel like. It doesn't work like that. You need to be very disciplined and consistent, and that is how you can follow your passion. And thirdly, I would say that don't copy anybody, have your own style of writing. You can get a lot of content from Wikipedia and such articles, but if you want to make a niche or you want to create your own space in the travel writing, write something which would attract people to read. Once they start reading the first or second sentence of your blog post or a travel article, they should be so much glued to it, they would feel like reading the whole thing. That is what we feel is all about travel writing and writing on our blog. So, so I would sum it up as a passion, dedication, discipline, and consistency. You'd like to add?
Yeah, okay. So there is a saying that a picture is worth a million words, right? Because a picture tells a story, but you need words to tell the stories behind the picture. So the words, what I would like to underline here for all the listeners is the words and writing would never get outdated. because people even today read books. Maybe they read it in a digital form, maybe not that much hardbound. So it's not that videos or pictures uh, means the death knell for words. So that is still going to be there. People who are really interested would read on that. So my advice for anyone who is interested in getting into this kind of writing, specifically writing, I would say yes, there is a huge market. In fact, the Indian market is still in a nascent stage, and the best is yet to come.
Or for people first looking at the content curating or as a blogger, this could be some insights. And rightly said, Sandy, with passion, consistency, dedication, and the will to keep going, you know, irrespective of whatever it might be, you should keep going ahead. So I think that is the most important thing for anybody if they want to pursue their career and be happy about it. And being happy is also very important.
Ms. Bhavani, if we could just open the panel for some maybe 2 or 3 questions, if that is all right with a panel,
Sure.
because there was few questions actually in the previous meeting we had. We were unable to add that here. So we've just pasted these questions that our attendees have. Shall we read out the questions for you so that you can direct it to the panel members?
Oh, yes, you could do that, Neha.
Thank you. So the first question is from Mr. Ashish. He's asking that Indians are grateful for preserving the Asiatic lions of Gujarat. But the thing is now for further preservation and survival of the species, it is important to shift them. So he goes on to say, according to the Honorable Supreme Court, they have ordered to shift the lions to Madhya Pradesh. And he's asking, what do the panel members have to say on this?
Farooq sir, you want to answer this question?
I'm not very sure about, they were talking about shifting the lions to Madhya Pradesh.
Yes, sir, that's what.
Okay. I'm not very sure. Gopi, can you come in? One point I can tell you is, the latest development that is happening is, I don't think there is any reason for, shifting the lions from Gir to Madhya Pradesh. Number one, please correct me, Gopi. Second one, see, the Honorable Prime Minister in the high-level meeting which was held recently has insisted on, doing development and promotional programs for the conservation of lion, especially in Gir. The reason is that we have put more focus on tigers, and luckily, I mean, we were put to a situation some time back where we were worried about the tiger population, but after a few initiatives of the government of India and the state government, we were able to somehow come to a point we are on the safe this thing where we are actually, the tiger population has increased remarkably, and now our focus is going to be on the lion. So that's my submission. So I don't think see, the Indian government has enough policies for the preservation, and we have enough financial resources to do whatever possible for the preservation of wild animals, especially tiger and lion. Gopi, over to you.
Yes, sir. I think I agree with you also, and definitely tourism equally plays role with the forest department, because transferring or taking care of the lions and taking them to Madhya Pradesh, again, every sort of thing has to be kept in mind, especially the climatic things. So I think still they are in a word yet. I don't know if there are any further actions, but we have to majorly think of the climatic things, because they should get used to that, because being in Gir, it has its own climatic things where they are fine, and definitely we are working on preserving and taking care of the lions and its species in Gir itself. There are many things which are things are going on, and amazingly the Department of Forest is doing amazing job for preserving our wildlife. That is for sure.
I'd like to add one point here. So last time when we were in Sasangir, I had a discussion about this, and actually few years back there was some rumor, but there is no ground to that rumor. So in fact, if you look at the 2020 census of lions, which is the latest census, the lion population in Gir increased by 29%, and the population was said to be around 675. So I don't think I was told by the authorities that time, so that was only rumor, because for a short period there was some illness or something, but I think that is all in the past now. And as per the latest statistics, the last census, there's an increase in the population of the lions in Sasangir.
I agree, Vijay, and I think even Narendra sir had, our honorable PM had already shared this story also over the social media. So probably when we talk about transferring, it's very, very tough decision, because eventually we have to take care of them as our own kids. So that is a different issue.
Yeah. Thank you all for pulling in and answering this question. Definitely one, what Gopi was trying to say, it's a natural habitat for the lions have been Gir. So you're not going to be, technically, I mean, logically or scientifically, it's like you're moving them to another destination with another climatic conditions, the habitat that they're not used to. So I don't think so that would be the case. And that's why when the animals are kept in captive, the life of that particular animal reduces when compared to being in their own natural habitat. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong over here.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yes. So that is what. There's another question. Can I read that out, Neha?
Sure, but do you want me to do that? I can assist you with that.
One from Sanjana, right?
Yes. So Sanjana's question is that in Gujarat is one of the only states we actually see, especially in Ahmedabad, where we see the separate bus lanes. So it was quite a success over there. So the question is this a possibility to transform other places in India? Can we do that in other places also? Is the question.
I'll answer this question. Maharashtra already has separate lanes at few places.
Okay.
Maharashtra already have, and there are many other states also who are having it. Slowly and eventually it will come up. Definitely.
Bhopal also has.
Yeah, Bhopal also has, right. I agree.
Bangalore has in some parts.
Bangalore has metro.
Bangalore has.
In some parts of Bangalore.
Some parts of Bangalore also has some bus lanes, but I think we don't, mainly the commuters or the drivers don't follow those lanes. That's also an issue that to look at, you know. You can create good infrastructure, but we as citizens have to also, adhere to it. So that's.
Thank you so much.
Maharashtra is really having a good amount of transformation from past few months. Definitely, yes.
Thank you so much for answering these questions. Ms. Bhavani, do we have a little more time, or are you running a little late? I think you have another session that you were, I think, joining. Thank you so much for joining us and so successfully in moderating the session without any of the, in spite of all these glitches, you were able to, do a really good justice to it. We apologize to all the panel members. Very sorry for the glitch that was caused. It was really out of our hands. We tried our best. I hope at least the second half of the session we were able to try to resolve some of the issues, but we extend our sincere apologies. We hope that our future events, we will probably try it. I think we had suggestions on the other channel to probably use Zoom. Yes, we have noted your suggestion. We will definitely do that. This is the first time on this scale we are facing this kind of an issue. It is something that even our IT team was quite surprised. So I think it is a bug that we were not able to resolve. But we thank all the members. Special thanks to each and every one. We do have another session, so it would be great if you all could just join in for our, we had our competition that happened, and Ms. Sandy and Vijay were the judges of this competition, the Array Festa blogging event. We had quite a lot of participants all over India that joined us for this event, and We filtered it, and now we have the winners. I request Miss Kushi to please continue.
Hello, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, Kushi, you are.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. So now we move on to the event Irefestum Blogger, which brought students the opportunity to showcase their talent of blogging on the topic Gujarat tourism, a spectrum of opportunities. This event was open to UG and PG students all over India. We are delighted to say that we had over 60 participants taking part in this event. They had a chance to win incredible prizes courtesy of our sponsors. These blogs have been judged by Mr. Vijay and Miss Sandy, couple travel bloggers and travel writers. They have been blogging and authoring travel stories for the past 6 years, and they have their own travel blog called Voyage. Voyage is a popular travel blog focusing on original and quality content. We are extremely thank you, sir and ma'am, for judging this event.
Thank you.
Now, we move on to the most exciting part of the event, which is the announcement of the winners of Irefestum Blogger 2021-2022. I would like to invite Ms. Gopi Vishrolia, IC Manager Tourism Corporation of Karnataka, to announce our first place winner.
Kushi, please change the slide with the winners list.
I think there's a glitch, ma'am. I'm just trying to.
The first place goes to Miss Alishka Rajesh of St. Joseph College of Commerce, Bangalore.
May we have Miss Alishka? Miss Alishka, are you on board with us? Okay. Okay, ma'am. We shall move on to the next place. So the second place announce. Okay, so she's there. So I would like to invite Mr. Vijay to join Miss Gopi to announce a second place winner.
Can you just change the slide? Yeah. So the second place goes to Ashish Bhandari from Indian Institute of Tourism and Travel Management, Gwalior. Is Ashish there?
Hello, yes, ma'am, I'm there.
Yeah, many congratulations, dear.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It's an honor to receive this. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, Ms. Gopi and Mr. Vijay. Finally, I invite our sponsor from Vedansi Luxury Resort, Bengaluru, Ms. Grishma, to announce our third place winner. May we have...
I hope I'm audible.
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Yeah, so the third place goes to Miss Oja Devyanshi from IHM Ahmedabad. So the sponsorship prize from Vedansi Luxury Resort, Bengaluru is 1 day double occupancy accommodation along with breakfast at our resort, as well as indoor games and other activities are also included in the package. Thank you.
Okay. So we would like to congratulate all the winners and we thank all the participants for taking part in this event. We hope you enjoyed this event as much as us. We would like to thank our sponsors for their esteemed contribution. Thank you, ma'am.